In this video, we'll show you how to change the water pump on your Chevy Silverado. You can find it on CarParts.com via the link in the description. For safety reasons, we advise you to disconnect the battery. To do so, we recommend watching the video, How to Replace the Chevrolet Silverado Car Battery. In order to change the water pump, it is necessary to carry out a complete bleed of your cooling system. To do this, we recommend that you watch our video, How to Perform a Coolant Flush on a Chevy Silverado. Remove the engine cover. Pull on it to unclip it. Remove the air hose by pulling on it. Using a flathead screwdriver, loosen the holding clips for the air intake duct on the airbox. Then remove the hose. You must now remove the serpentine belt. We recommend taking a picture or to draw the path of the belt around the different pulleys in order to position it correctly later. Using a ratchet and a 15mm socket, loosen the belt by turning the serpentine belt tensioner clockwise. You can now remove the belt. Using adjustable pliers, or the tool used in the video, compress the upper radiator hose retaining ring. Then remove the hose. Unclip the cooling hose retaining ring. Then shift the hole. Using a ratchet and a long 10mm socket, unscrew the two thermostat housing cover retaining bolts. Then shift it. Be careful when removing it. Coolant remaining in the circuit will flow. Remember to position the liquid collector under the pump. Remove the thermostat from the housing cover. Using adjustable pliers or the tool used in the video, compress the expansion tank hose retaining ring. Then remove the hose. Using a flathead screwdriver, loosen the retaining ring of the second hose. Then remove the hose.
For great content, our best price, and fast shipping, download the CarParts.com app now.
Using a ratchet, an extender, and a 10mm socket, unscrew the 6 bolts holding the water pump. Remove the water pump. Remove the seal. Protect the cooling circuit by plugging it with a cloth to prevent impurities from polluting the circuit. To avoid any risk of leaks, clean the water pump seal surface thoroughly with a wire brush. Then scrub with fine sandpaper. Remove the cloths. Finish with brake cleaner and wipe with a paper towel. You can order the water pump used in the video on CarParts.com via the link in the description. Everyone's natural reflex is to take the water pump in hand and turn the pump pulley to check that the element is rotating correctly. But this is a serious mistake that can irreversibly damage the water pump. You need to immerse the pump in coolant. And to turn it around 10 times. This prevents subsequent leaks, as the pump must never run dry. Get the new water pump. Take the new gaskets, then put them in place on the new water pump. Roughly install 2 bolts to hold them in position when putting the water pump back in place. Take the new water pump and install it, making sure that the gaskets are firmly in place on the pump. You can now screw in all the water pump retaining bolts until they make contact. To avoid damaging the gaskets, you need to tighten the bolts holding the water pump in a 2-step process. And with the recommended tightening torques. Reconnect the hoses. Then put the hose clamps back in place. Take the thermostat. Install it in its location. The thermostat has a locating piece that holds it in place in the cover. Put the thermostat housing cover back in place and screw it back on. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. Take the belt tensioner. Tighten the bolts by hand. Then screw them back in with a ratchet until they make contact. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. Reconnect the hose. Put the coolant hose retaining ring back in place. Clip the hose back on. Take the serpentine belt. Pay careful attention to which way up you use it. The writing on the belt must turn clockwise. You can now put the serpentine belt back in place. Slide the new belt around the different elements, respecting the layout from the initial assembly. To fully put it back in place, lift the serpentine belt tensioner in order to wind the serpentine belt onto all of the pulleys. Then release the belt tensioner to fully extend the belt. Replace the air intake duct. Then screw the hose clamps back on. Reconnect the hose. Now you need to refill the radiator with coolant and purge any air from the circuit. To do this, we recommend that you watch our video, How to Perform a Coolant Flush on a Chevy Silverado. Reconnect the battery. Operation complete.
Quality parts, priced right.